Wait, don't solve any problems before you watch this week's Live at the Gym. Hi, I'm Dale Fallon, and welcome to Live at the Gym, where we work out our communication muscles so we can improve the quality of our conversations. Before we meet today's guest, Laura Stover, let me tell you a story. Imagine you're traveling from the East Coast to the West Coast, and you get out and you get started and you get on your way and you're moving forward and you get a flat tire. And you call AAA and they come out to fix the tire for you, and they get the tire fixed and they get you up and running. The mechanic has a nice interaction with you, does a very nice job getting the tire fixed and running. And then you get back and you get headed east again. Incorrectly. You're trying to get to the West Coast, but you're heading east. That mechanic who did a great job solving the problem that you had with a few key questions could have helped you with a bigger problem, could have helped you on a bigger solution to move you in the right direction to get you back headed west. Many of us solve immediate transactional problems without asking a few questions. And in today's session, we're going to be talking about the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps is a simple tool that's designed to help you solve big problems for yourself and for others. It's a framework for effective problem solving, coaching, and leadership. The 4 Ps are problem, pain, pleasure, and personal. We'll talk about those in a little bit when we bring our guest in, but when used effectively, the 4 Ps will help you frame conversations so you can solve real big problems, the right problems, and help your clients and your team members and your coworkers move forward in deep, meaningful ways. The goal of the 4 Ps is to reflect back without validation or criticism and to hear, that's exactly right. So with that being said, let's introduce Laura Stover. Laura is the Director of HR Advisory Services at SEK CPAs Advisors. And with more than 20 years of human resource experience, Laura manages the firm's HR department and leads HR consulting services for clients. Laura's expertise includes supporting the HR needs of small businesses, nonprofit organizations, and corporations. Welcome, Laura.
Thanks, Dale. Nice to be here.
It's great to see you. I'm glad to have you with us today.
Yeah.
We've been working with communication with SEK and with you for a while, and I'm curious, the 4 Ps is one of the programs that we went through. I'm curious how that's impacted your business development conversations.
Wow, it's been a game changer really for me. Truly understanding how to approach the clients or the prospective clients and having that real conversation where listening is happening, understanding is happening, and being able to make that client know that you're hearing them and truly understand what they're saying and what their needs are has made it, a lot easier to be able to get business actually and move forward because there's that connection that you've made with the client.
Yeah, and you were one of the ones early on when you got this. You kind of saw it as a shift in the way of I guess selling your business development and really about relationship development. Going back to Covey, right? Seek first to understand before being understood.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a helper. I've worked in HR for 25 years. I want to help people. And when someone says, "Hey, I need this," or I need something, I immediately want to offer a solution. That was kind of my approach before going through this training. Oh, yes, I can help. We can do this. We can do that, without really even taking the time to listen to the person and know exactly what they need. So that's definitely changed my approach for the much better.
Well, and you touched on it so importantly because so many, at least our members are helpers. The people that work with the communication gym, they're seeking to improve their communication skills. Most of them want to help. So we see a problem and we think, oh, okay, I can help with that. And we jump in. And what the 4 Ps is really designed to do, and I'll go down a little bit of descriptive trail here, it's really designed to pause that desire to help for a minute or two, ask a series of questions. What problem are you having? What pain is it causing you? What pleasure will it be to alleviate that? And then what will that mean to you personally? So that little framework helps you to build what's called a gap between where you live today and where what your expected outcome is, the other person you're talking to. And once you have that gap, you're so much more qualified to get in there and say, now I can really solve that problem and really dive into it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of people say, well, that takes a lot longer. Or does it? Have you found it takes longer?
Well, Dale, I'm a DI style, so I tend to be pretty straightforward and fast moving. So it does take me a little longer, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit of a struggle for me sometimes to take the time to do it. But now that I've actually really focused on it, every time I have a discovery call or I'm talking with a potential client, I find it much more natural, and it wasn't that big a shift to make. And really, 15, even 20 minutes is not a lot of time, when you're trying to understand someone.
Well, and especially when you want to get down to that lower level problem, to the problems that really might be affecting the business in big ways, or the source of the problem too. It's also designed to help get you there.
Yeah, it can take a while to get to the source. Quite a few questions.
Yeah. And that's really what it's intended to. So we start with the problem, pain, pleasure, and personal, but you move forward from there and you dig down a little bit deeper. You move into, what does that problem mean to you from a financial standpoint? What's it costing your culture? Talk to me about the pain that some of the other people in your organization might be feeling because of this. And the more you draw that out, the more connected you become with the other person, with your other party that you're communicating with. And you're also giving them a chance to think it out. As a DI, like you and I both are, right? We have to process things externally.
Right. Yeah, it definitely is good for the client as well, because you're asking them these questions and they really have to think, okay, what do I need? How is this affecting me? What do I need going forward? And they might not even realize how much they need until you've talked through, their concerns and their problems and understand what's going on with them.
Yeah. Well, and the expectations piece, I want to go to that. So we talk about the problem, get a good understanding of it. And then when we don't talk about what a solution looks like, we talk about what it looks like beyond the solution. Getting them to draw out their expected outcomes and set clear expectations is such an important piece of this, because then you have an opportunity to manage expectations. You have an opportunity to discuss reality. Some people have expectations that are way outside of scope, and then others just haven't thought it through. So giving them a chance to voice it is really important.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, it sounds like we might be ready to put our sweatbands on and do a workout.
Get ready.
All right. So one of the things that we do at the gym is we want you to work out and get outside your comfort zone. We're not looking for perfect. We're looking for fail safe, meaning take a shot and practice this exercise. So the exercise that we're going to do with you, Laura, is a building exercise. We're going to start with the 4 Ps. And basically, I'm going to give you a 1-word answer. So you're going to ask me what the problem is, what the pain is, what personal and what pleasure would look like, and then what it would mean personally. And I'm going to give you a 1-word answer. Your goal then is to reflect back using my language, and then we'll add to that another layer of complexity. This is one of the ways that we build on skill sets within the communication gym. So are you ready for take a shot at it?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
Yep.
So Dale, what HR problems are you having?
Retention, Laura.
And what kind of pain is that causing your company?
Planning.
Okay. And what kind of pleasure would you experience if you actually solved that problem?
Continuity.
Okay.
Oh, you're really making me think about this one. I like it.
Okay. And what would it mean to you personally to solve this?
One word. I'll have to use a phrase. Staying on target, meeting our goals.
Okay. So thanks for sharing that brief information there, Dale. If I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like your company's having some retention problems, which is affecting your planning. You don't have a lot of continuity, and you're not able to reach your goals right now. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yep, you got it spot on. You got all 4 of them.
Okay.
So we'll pause the exercise. We'll come back in for a second, because what you did really well, and this is I want to reinforce this, is you used my words back to me, right? You didn't reinvent. There are times then when you can rephrase. Sometimes if someone's struggling with language and you help them, I've had a lot of people say, well, you said it better than I did. And that's okay. But when you're practicing and then developing the skill, reflect back what you heard them say, right? I said continuity. You say continuity. And then when we go back in and we'll do the exercise again, you want to dig down into, okay, so what does continuity mean to me, right? What does that
Right.
effectively mean? And draw that out a little bit more so that then we're working from a common set of terms and a common understanding, which is really the framework of all of this for the 4Ps, is to get a common understanding before we move forward, as big of the picture as we can get.
Yeah, and I find I like the structure too, but even just you can make it your own, how you say the things in your own wording, and you find, you really can draw everything out from the people just by, kind of relating to them and getting a general type question out to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a bonus. That's exactly right, because that's exactly right. We don't want you to, the reason for these 4Ps isn't so that you always use those same words. It's so that you stay in those buckets long enough to get the information. It's so that you're going down into first and second and third tier problems and expectations. And then you're coming back in and saying, okay, I think there's something I can do to help. So you're ready to jump back in for phase 2 here? Let's go a little bit deeper.
Okay, so a little bit deeper. Okay.
Yep.
So Dale, what HR problems are you having?
Retention. It's
Retention.
we're having we've got a little bit too much turnover. We're at about 25-30% right now.
Okay. What do you think's causing that turnover?
Well, we're a fast moving company. We make a lot of changes in structure, and we're growing. So I think that's difficult for people. And we have a tendency to pivot. And I think in some cases that's a challenge.
Can you tell me a little bit more about some of the pivoting you've done?
Well, we moved on we started 2 brand new products. We had a brand new client come on board, and they wanted us to do something a little bit differently than we've been doing. So we had to go back and do some remanufacturing. We had to change some of our setup in the process and procedure line. So I love to do that. I love to adapt to clients' needs. And the people who are working on the line are saying, what are you doing? We're trying to do this the same way.
Right. Wow. Sounds like you have a lot going on. So what kind of pain is that resulting in your company with all these retention issues?
Well, you can probably quote me better than I can what the numbers are, right? It's costing us a good amount of money, 60% of revenue, or 2 times an annual salary. I think I've heard in that, but it also causes us cultural problems. This past year specifically, we lost one key person that was really important to our organization. And I think that kind of caused a ripple that hurt us a little bit.
Can you share a little bit about why that person decided to leave?
Honestly, that had nothing to do with at least their presenting issue was nothing to do with the changes that I talked about. They just found a better opportunity.
Okay. That does happen sometimes.
It happens. And yeah, it was good on them for doing it. Yeah.
So if you were able to get to support and some effective practices in place and really help with with the retention issue, what would that mean to you personally?
Well, it would mean I could go out and get that creative business that I want to get. And this new opportunity I told you about it increased our annual revenue by 20%. So it's a huge opportunity for us, and we had to take advantage of it. And I'd love to be able to keep going after a business like that, but I need the team to be able to pivot with me and stick with us. The training aspect of it, and you know this too, to go back and train takes so much time, and to get someone up to speed, it's difficult.
Right. Yeah. So sounds like you have a lot going on. I just want to make sure I took in everything right that I heard you say.
Yeah.
You have a lot of growth, but it's being extra challenging because you're not retaining staff. You're having some turnover, which, could be a lot of different reasons that, we need to look a little deeper at. But it sounds like you have a lot of positive things going on, a lot of growth, new products. You have a lot of creative ideas you'd like to get to, but you need your staff to be able to do that. So, I think we certainly have some solutions for you, but I want to make sure that I understood that correctly. Did I get that right?
Yep. You got the pain and problem point right. Talk to me a little bit more about the pleasure and what we'd be able to do with it.
So I think, listening to what you said, if you were able to reduce your turnover, retain employees, you then have that staff that you could go ahead and get more products out and have more development and be able to, expand and grow your business.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's spot on. Yep. You nailed it. Excellent, Laura. I'm not surprised. You did really well.
Thank you.
And it's not easy, especially being on the spot like this. I appreciate you coming on and being willing to do this. One of the things that we think is important in the communication, Jim, is being willing to fail safe, right? Put yourself in a situation where you're outside of your comfort zone. So I really appreciate you doing this and doing such a great job.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate you having me. I was uncomfortable in the training, but that's part of it. I mean, if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you don't grow. So I told my husband this morning, hey, I'm doing a stream. I'm not sure what I'm getting into. Just thought I'd tell you that.
Well, that's a part of a practice culture, right? That's one of our main things that we're trying to promote, and that SEK promotes as well, is that you're not going to grow and develop your skills until you get outside of your comfort zone. And the best way to do that is by creating a practice culture where you're willing to do that. So you modeling that for us today and for other people is just really fantastic. And I appreciate you doing it.
Well, thanks, Dale. I appreciate all you've done for SEK as well in the training. It's been amazing. It's been really good.
Good. Well, we'll keep on rocking. We got to wrap this one up today. So my encouragement to everybody who's listening, and to you too, Laura, is to keep practicing, right?
Will do.
Use those 4 Ps to understand and reflect back before you jump into problem solving and your solutions. It'll help you make fewer missteps, fewer misunderstandings, and fewer miscommunications. Join us on Thursdays right here on LinkedIn for more communication workouts. And don't forget, don't practice until you get it right. Practice until you can't get it wrong. Grab your complimentary playbook page in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our blog for more communication tips and exercises. And thank you again, Laura Stover, and for everyone who joined us today. Thank you for joining us for this week's workout. We'll see you at the gym.
Bye.